Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tawnya Love Show, and I'm Tawnya Love, and I welcome you today. I'm so excited for those of you that are connecting with me. I'm feeling so much better because last time I did the live show, I wasn't really feeling great, and you can kind of tell. I was watching the video, and I just seemed stuffy. So I apologize, but you know what? Sometimes we just have these human things, and I got a little sick, and I'm feeling amazing now. So glad to be back to my normal high vibrational self. Real quickly, I'm just going to give all of you the number in case any of you want to call in, because the first person to call in today, I will do an angel reading for. And the number is 919-518-9773. And then you can also chat in live. So just if you're watching and you're not sure how to do that, just put any name in that little box. It could be your real name, you could be your alter ego today. It doesn't matter if you want to stay anonymous, but I welcome any of your questions or comments. So join us today in the chat. We can get a conversation going. So it was interesting because this week, a lot of times they'll have like a few days before the show, I just get a strong feeling of what I'm going to be talking about. And I hadn't got that feeling yet. And last night I was trying to fall asleep, and I was just laying in bed, and I was kind of like, Angels, I have not had any sense of what I'm talking about tomorrow. So it'd be really cool if you'd let me know, like, what is it that we're going to be discussing for the show tomorrow. And so last night, when I was going to sleep, I kind of set that intention, and I share that because we can all do this, and it's really powerful when you get in this habit of asking Spirit a question, like at dream time. A lot of us can tune into that subtle energy better in our dream state, and we can learn to do it all the time. Like I do it now, whether I'm going to sleep, whether I'm dreaming, whether I'm awake in this dream, I'm connecting. But there was a time where I was more aware in my dream state of messages from angelic realms and things, and I wasn't as much aware of it in this waking dream. So if you're in that place, I encourage you to talk to your angels at nighttime, talk to your spirit guides, and ask them to just bring you confirmation or bring you messages of whatever they're trying to say, and just be in that place where you're setting an intention to listen, and it can be really powerful. So anyway, last night I had asked them, and this morning when I woke up, I literally, as soon as I woke up, I just had consciousness streaming in, and the words were time to rise, self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. And I just was like, awesome. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why it's so important for us to have self-love and to feel a sense of deep self-worth and self-esteem. And what does that really even mean? How is it going to help us evolve and grow? And so as I got that message coming in, I also was remembering a dream that I had just been having, and it was very vivid. And I often dream in very vivid dreams, but I sat up and I immediately started to write a message to myself about the dream, because otherwise they kind of fade away and we forget. And in the dream, there was a woman I was helping, and she was in a hotel room. I just remember she was in a hotel, and she was very sad, very upset because she had been betrayed by her love. And apparently they had planned to go to this hotel in my dream, and they were going to be together, and he ended up betraying her and leaving her, and it never happened. He never showed up. And she was so angry in the dream, she just destroyed the hotel room. And it was vivid. It was like a movie. It was so realistic. And so I woke up kind of like, well, what is that? And I remember in the dream me talking to her and just explaining to her that, life is something that is always about change, and that life will bring us what we need to grow and to evolve. And sometimes we as humans have these plans, and we have this agenda of what we feel is supposed to happen or what we want to happen with somebody. And sometimes we can get disappointed because that plan doesn't line up and doesn't match up with what Spirit has in store for us. And so the ultimate message of this dream that I wanted to talk about on the show today was living in trust, like really embracing this feeling of deep trust. And as we learn to do that, as we learn to realize that the universe is totally supporting me. So if I, Tawnya, am looking out of the eyes of that awareness of, you know what, no matter what's going down out here, I am supported. And even if things are falling away, if people are acting insane, if, whatever is appearing in my movie, if it's good or bad, as we like to label things with judgment, it doesn't matter what's happening. It's what do I do with what's happening? So if something comes to me, like in the dream, this woman was betrayed, disappointed, heart was broken, she had an expectation, it didn't happen. She had different options in how she handled it. In the dream, she flipped out, destroyed her hotel room, was angry, hurt, took it very personally. And I thought about how often do we do that in our life? Something happens, it doesn't go the way we think, and so we take it out on ourselves. We get angry, or maybe we tear up a building, or we, try to destroy property. It's just very symbolic. And we have options. We could react that way. We could get angry and then we could take it out on ourselves. We could destroy a place. Or we could just look out of those eyes of trust and be like, huh, so I kind of thought that was going to work out, but apparently it's not the way I'm meant to go. Apparently I'm not meant to be with this person, or they would be here. And so what do you got for me, Spirit? Like, what does this mean? Where are we going now? And there's really no need for suffering. There's no need for judgment. There's no need for lashing out and anger. It could totally be a different way we could respond. And so I felt like sharing that today, of just tuning into that way that we can love ourselves, and we can realize that if we're looking out of the eyes that the universe is here to support us, then we're going to trust more. We are going to embrace this life with trust in a way that makes no sense to a lot of people that aren't doing that. But like I said, it isn't what happens to us that matters the most. It's what do we do with what happens to us. So if something happens to us that hurts us or upsets us, that's going to happen to every one of us. We're going to have things that the plan that we had did not match up, or the person we hoped would treat us a certain way didn't. But what do we do with that? How do we move forward with that? And that's what I wanted to talk about today with each of you, is that we each have choices, and those choices are so important. And ultimately, I feel the highest reason that we're all here is to learn this lesson, to learn that I, Tawnya, can go through whatever I go through in my movie, but I don't have to be angry. I don't have to get violently upset. I don't have to lash out at people. I don't have to get in any kind of a response of anger and negativity unless I choose that. And has Tawnya chose that? Yes, there's times I've chosen. I've been pissed off, angry. But at the same time, when I realize, okay, if I just get angry and waste my energy and upset my own immune system and get myself sick and feel bad, did that really help anything? Maybe not so much. But if I'm upset, something disrupted my plan or what I was hoping would happen, what do I do with that? That's what I can actually work with. That's where I can go, wow, okay, so this didn't work out the way I hoped, or this person really didn't treat me with the honor and respect that I know I deserve, but I believe I deserve that. I love myself. So if this person falls out of my movie, I wish them the best and I let them go, and I don't attach to them. I release any sense of attachment to the expectation of what they should be. I can release the expectation of how they're supposed to treat me. And we really start to live more authentically and more peacefully. And I feel like for myself, the highest focal point for me is staying in that place of peace. Staying in this inner state of peace and ease is the highest priority. So when I stay in that place vibrationally, it helps me physically because my immune system will respond to that. I will feel better and healthier. Vibrationally, I will draw in more loving experiences and people will come in. Beauty and miracles will just show up when I'm in that higher vibration. And I have experienced when I've been in a lower vibration, I'm angry, I'm tense. It's like opportunities are pushed away. They don't really show up. Maybe I have tension with people and so I'm not in their world. And if I am, it's like abrasive. My body doesn't feel as healthy. I feel tight and tense. And so we can start to learn to tune in and discern why this is all happening so that we can choose to consciously stay in a higher vibration. And that doesn't mean that when things are going on out in your movie in the world that we don't acknowledge them. It doesn't mean that we're just walking around and pretending everything's fine, smiling and not acknowledging what's going on out there. But I feel like the highest priority for each of us is to stay in this high vibration and to stay in this centered space of self-love, because when we're in that place, we are more powerful vibrationally. We are bringing a higher loving vibration to the planet, and we are helping assist our own life. And from that place of alignment, we start to assist vibrationally anyone around us as well. And so, like I said, in the dream I had, this woman had things happen and she couldn't control them. She wanted this certain expectation, it didn't happen. But what she did with what didn't happen was more upsetting to her than what didn't happen. And so, if we can tune in and realize where we hold power, it's not in what's happening with everyone else. We will never be able to control anybody on this planet the way we think we. I feel like humans have been trying this for so long to control others, and it just isn't working out. And if you sit at home and you're looking on the internet and you're upset about, like, what corporations are putting genetically modified foods into all the grocery stores, or you're sitting around on your computer and you're getting upset about all the people that are, negative on Facebook, or you're ranting and raving about whatever it is that you want to look at in the world that's not in alignment and that you're angry about. And so now vibrationally, you're angry, you're abrasive, you're out of alignment, you're tense. It's not really helping anything. It's not helping you. It's not helping your family. It's not helping anything change in those things that you're angry about. So the reason I say this is to help us vibrationally stay in the most powerful position for change and transformation. And the most powerful position for you vibrationally is to stay in that state of peace and ease and self-love. So even if I look at the internet and something is upsetting, I'm like, wow, there's some stuff going on in the world, like, that's not really that amazing, and it's kind of low vibration. I see people hurting each other, but I can still send love to them. I can still express how I feel without getting angry, without losing my vibration. I can stay in a higher vibration and still observe things, but not let them take me out of my alignment, not absorb that energy to the point now I'm angry and now I'm raging and I'm upset and I want to fight the government, or I want to go take down somebody who I think, isn't doing something right. And so I feel like, big picture, it would serve us so much to maintain the state of ease. And this is why so many of the shows we've talked about the importance of meditation, the importance of daily alone time and connecting with nature. Like today, I spent hours outside. We went for a walk in nature, my family and I. Then I came back and I was planting flowers in my front yard on my porch and just putting in fall flowers. And that just makes me happy and I feel amazing. And there's times where we can be so stressed and tense and we're upset about stuff we can't control. And if we don't watch it, we'll lose our vibrational alignment and we'll fall into a heavier vibration because we're fighting or angry with somebody who's not making us happy. And that doesn't, I'm not judging if any of you are doing that, because it's very human of us to do that. But at the same time, I feel like there are options, there are choices, and that's why I wanted to talk about that today on the show, is not to judge the times that you have fallen or that you've gotten stuck in a low vibration, or the times that you've wanted to go and kick your neighbor's ass because they upset you or their dog was barking all night. But to just realize that no matter what's happening out there, you have a choice to maintain ease and peace in here. Every moment we have that choice to let something out there be more important than our inner peace and inner ease. And what I've learned is nothing out there is worth that. Nothing externally is going to be worth your alignment and your vibrational health. So if some of you are struggling and you have been having chronic sickness or pain or tension in some way, you might want to really vibrationally look into what are you holding on to internally. What is it that's happening outside in your movie that you're so upset about that maybe you're spending a lot of time talking about it or thinking and dwelling about it in a negative way, or just holding anger and tension in your belly? That can really start to upset your body, and your systems of your body don't like that. So, it's not really about looking at life. I feel like, when we're on the spiritual path of enlightenment, what does enlightenment mean? Do I need to travel to India? Do I need to do a lot of yoga retreats? Do I need to, chant Om 20 times a day. Like, what is that? What is enlightenment? And I feel like it's been fed in that way to many, that there's all these certain things you have to do to be worthy of that moment. But really, every one of you has that power right now. Like right in this moment, this next breath you can take a breath and you can live in trust. You can breathe in right now and trust that, you know what? Stuff looks crazy out there, but I trust that the universe is supporting me. Things are changing around me. Things are falling away. People are changing. Those people I thought would behave in this certain way, they're not. This person that I thought would help me isn't. This person is helping me. That's cool. And we can observe all that, but we can maintain that vibrational alignment of trust and realize that no matter what's going on externally, internally, if I maintain this place of ease and grace, this place of centered trust, this is exactly the space that I hold my greatest power. Because now, whatever's going on out there, I can observe it. I can navigate this changing, shifting movie without losing my alignment with Source, without losing my sense of awareness, my sense of self love, self worth, and self esteem, which is so important. And it's really going to be important for each of us to learn this, because no matter what it is we're chasing externally or we're trying to grab onto, whether it's a relationship, maybe we want a certain status as a job, we want a certain title, and we think then we'll be happy, then we'll feel safe, then we'll feel powerful. If I had this much money, then I'll feel safe, then I'll feel powerful. And I promise you that it's now, like the moment is now, and it's to take this next breath with trust and to realize that nothing externally will ever fulfill that ego need to grab onto something because of its lack of feeling safe. The ego never feels safe. It's always uneasy. It's always like insecure, frightened, intimidated. But the true self, your true higher conscious aligned self, if you choose to tune into that more subtle voice, that place in you is always at peace and at ease. And if we start to tune in that direction instead and trust that, we will be amazed of what choices we'll make with the things that happen to us. That we don't need to let what happens to us identify us in a way that causes us suffering. If anything, even if these very terrible, hurtful things happen to a soul, they can be amazing and powerful in transformation, in like propelling a soul into forward motion. And sometimes we need that kick in the butt to move, because if energetically everything kind of stayed stagnant and nothing really challenged us, we would never have any desire to evolve or move forward. And so when things come in and they feel tense or they're pushing on us, they're challenging us, if we can continue to remember that the universe loves us and supports us, and that, yes, you watching today and me talking today are very important. We are very important beings, and we're loved and we're supported, and the universe is assisting us. And sometimes that sense of assistance may look terrible and painful because maybe we didn't pick up on those subtle messages that Spirit was bringing for so long, and now we got a big catastrophe coming to get our attention. So I feel like the more that we tune into this part of ourselves, the more we honor that intuitive side, we will pay attention to those subtle messages so we can really prevent a lot of our suffering. And if something does come that feels very, ground shaking, it's just shaking your world, instead of panicking, we can start to look out of the eyes of awareness. It's like, I was just watching a movie the other day. It was called Divergent. And I really related to this film, to the woman in the film that could not be controlled. They called her Divergent. It's a sci-fi film, but basically there's a society and there's all these people that are falling in different categories, like the selfless ones that help others. There's the ones that are they're warriors, they're fearless, and they have to like protect the community and the society. There's those that are very smart and intelligent, and they have certain jobs they have to do. And so there's all these little categories that the humans have to go into. And it was very symbolic of what we do in our society. We try to put everyone in little boxes. And this one girl was a divergent, meaning they couldn't control her. She could be any of them, and she wouldn't really let them control her. And I could relate to that so much at a spiritual level, of how I feel that that's so important to maintain that alignment with self and not to be controlled and not to be pushed into little boxes. But what was amazing about this film is that I want to reference right now is that there was a part where the guy that's assisting her, he said, you know, you're different. When you get afraid, you wake up, where a lot of people, they shut down. And that line in the movie is the biggest one that stood out to me is how do we handle what happens to us? And for my soul in particular, one of the things that I feel an honor for my own soul is that when something happens that's intense and it's fearful, it wakes me up every time. I wake up and I become more aware, more tuned into every single thing. Like I will pay attention to everything. It's like spidey senses are activated. And we all have the ability to tune in greater when things start to feel tense or scary and fearful, or we can shut down. And that is our choice. That is really where our most important power lies, moment to moment, is not what are people doing to you or what is the government doing or what are the neighbors doing, what is your daughter doing or your son doing. It's what are you doing with that? What are you going to do with that information? How are you going to take that fear of the unknown and how are you going to face it and move right through it? How are you going to take that fear of change and just embrace that change and move forward in a new way? And I promise that as each of you trusts in yourself, as you love yourself and you realize you're important, you realize that your evolution is very important, you will start to make forward movement and this will become more natural for you. Fear will come to all of us. Fear touches every one of us. But what do we do with it? That's the magical question. And so I'm going to pause for a second because I've been going for a while and see if there's any comments or questions.
Well, there's a comment from Ron,
Okay, what's
and he
wrong, guys?
says, "You are right, Tanya. Not letting circumstances dictate life's outcome. I'm adopted, and at times in my life, it was used against me like a defect. You know, I had abandonment issues. I just focus on the positive, amazing soul I am in the now, and all fear is gone."
Yep, that's awesome. Sounds like he's been hanging out with me.
Yeah,
I love that guy. Yes, and it's true with what Ron's saying.
literally.
Like, yeah, I really do love that guy. Um, yeah, and when I met Ron, like he had a lot of abandonment issues from that, and it was triggered way back to that adoption and how much that can affect a soul vibrationally. This is the stuff that I help souls with my auric clearing work that I do, is that we help them tune into those vibrational misalignments that it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It's just cellularly something happens to a soul and it creates a trauma, which creates a memory, a cellular memory. And then that memory gets kind of stuck like a record. And this can happen, we hear about it like when people have post traumatic stress, we acknowledge it then. If a war vet comes back with post traumatic stress, oh, they've got trauma. But this happens to a child that vibrationally comes in, mother rejects the child, I can't take it, can't handle it, I got to adopt my baby. That child feels that vibrationally, feels that rejection, feels that mother just left me feeling, even though they're a baby. And so as they grow up through their life, if they never tune into that, you can look at a person's record, as Ron, as I can show you from connecting and helping him, he had quite a record of abandonment, of people betraying him again and again and letting him down and him feeling left and abandoned each time. And so what's amazing though is once we could tune in and see that and then clear that, set the intention to actually release that vibrationally, everything shifted for him. And now there's trust and there's this sense of self-love and self-worth instead of this rejection, this part in him that used to really, it was like self-sabotage. I'm going to tear myself up because something's wrong with me. I'm not lovable. I'm unlovable. I was given away. And it may sound like not a big deal to somebody, but that for his life was a huge deal. And most of the clients that I help and work with, whatever they're going through, I was helping a woman the other night on the phone, and we're going to actually do a clearing soon. But I was tuning into her vibrationally, and she was just like, Tanya, I haven't really had any big trauma in my life. So what's my problem? Like, I've got this stuff going on, and I mean, it's like I had a decent childhood, and I don't know what's going on. And I was listening to her for a while, and I said, you may not think that this is a big deal, but it is a trauma to you. Like how you were treated, how you were controlled, how things were taken from you, and your sense of freedom was in jeopardy. It affected her vibrationally, it affected her sense of trust. So even though she wasn't beaten and starved to death or anything major, she still vibrationally was affected by those different things that were done to her. And until she clears how it affected her soul personally, she will continue to fight and not trust and to feel like people are out to control her and get her. And once she can clear that vibrationally, she'll be at that place that we were talking about in the beginning of the show, centered, at ease. I live in trust. And it's like this inner battle ends. And for so many of us, we're so used to that battle. We're so used to that inner fight and turmoil, or not even always inner. If that's going on internally, we often are fighting with people externally as well. And we get so used to that. It's like the comfort, the uncomfortably comfort zone of, I'm used to tension, I'm used to drama, I'm used to betrayal, I'm used to anger, I'm used to negative energy. So let's see what I can create today. And once we see and we start to realize we're suffering, and for some souls, it has to get really intense to wake them up. Like this woman contacted me. She's like, I am done, Tanya. I'm exhausted. I'm ready to heal. And I was so proud of her, like, awesome, because that's when the angels summon clients to me. I don't really work with the ones well that are still wanting to complain and make excuses. I just don't. My soul is going to be very powerful for a soul that's like, Tanya, I'm freaking done and I'm ready to clear this. I'm ready to move forward in an amazing new way. And every one of them that I've helped that's done their own inner work has had profound shifts and amazing transformation. And so we need to be responsible for that, though. We need to realize that, do I want to keep fighting internally? Do I want to keep having this internal battle? Or do I want ease? Do I want peace? And we're not going to get peace by going and, telling another country how they should behave or not behave. We're not going to get peace by telling our government how they should behave, or getting mad at our neighbor because she's religious and we're not, or they aren't religious and we are. None of that is going to help us with peace. And so many people I've listened to, it's like this insanity of, what motivates you? Why are you so angry? Why are you so fighting for that change? Well, I just want it to be peaceful. I just want the world to be a better place. Then start today with yourself. This is really where the work will be the most powerful, is stop pointing your focus outside of yourself and go look in the mirror right here. Look at yourself. Like, oh, I just thought of that Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror. That's a great song. It just popped in my head. So maybe listen to that song by Michael Jackson. But basically, it's all about changing self, not changing self like there's something wrong with self, but looking in the mirror and being truthful with what you see. What's going on inside of you? Where are you sabotaging yourself? Where are you making excuses? And where are you letting fear control you and paralyze you? It's really important that we stop choosing that if we want change. If you don't want change, keep doing that. Like, keep on staying in that place of fear and paranoia and anxiety. Some people, they say that oh, I'm so stressed. I'm always worried. I hate worrying. I hate stressing. I honestly will watch them and for a few minutes go, no, you don't. You love it. And what? What are you talking about? You love it. You love your drama. You love your stress. Because if you didn't, you'd be willing to shift it. You'd go to yoga instead of go to the bar. You'd go do meditation instead of go get that Starbucks and get your body all freaked out on caffeine. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying every one of us makes these choices. And these choices, the easy choices, often are they seem the most appealing. Like, ooh, go get drunk, go get high, go get some caffeine, go get some sugar, go have some sex, go shopping. All those choices are very simple and easy and just kind of glamorous, and they look really quick fix, like, ooh, that'll satisfy me. But big picture, they never do. And so ultimately, I feel if we just focus inward and we start doing that work inside, this is where the power of meditation comes in, It's going to be where we start to quiet the mind chatter. We start to tune out from this external movie long enough to just tune in and know self. Stop worrying about who's interested in you or how cute you are and if they want to date you or how do I get that guy to date me online, and focus internally on how do I get myself to love myself? How do I feel comfortable and at ease with hanging out by myself? How can I just take a breath and trust and be completely in the moment and content? That's the true work. And that doesn't maybe seem very appealing to many of us because, again, I don't really feel in society we're really given this glamorous approach with that. But to my life in particular, I can say it is worth it. It is worth it. And there will be times that what you're doing looks so boring to people around you because you're just being. You're just sitting there listening to the wind. You're just sitting there with the trees and you're just appreciating the beauty and you're feeling your own self love. You're feeling that love just to be in the moment, just to watch those people laughing. It's the simple connection. It's that connection to the now that each of you is really wanting, and that sense of deep inner peace and transformation that will come when you come home to yourself is beyond words. Like, I can't even put it into words. It's something that must be experienced. And the best thing I can do as a healer is help you to see where you're doing things that are sabotaging that and how to quiet all that chatter, how to choose differently and choose in a more empowered way. And if you are listening and you're really ready and you're really done suffering, then make that move in that direction. But if you're not, be honest and stop lying. Stop saying how much you hate suffering and how much you hate being sick and how much you hate having this drama with your mother-in-law, and just stop talking about it because all you're doing vibrationally is feeding it. And that's really never going to shift anything. And so I just feel like today it's all about empowering self love, self worth, self esteem. That's where it's at. And I promise, as each one of us does this work and loves ourself and comes back and is true to self, and as we start to tune in and honor what we really need to feel at ease and to feel peace, we will be the change that this world's ready for. We will each transcend and transform our external experience. But it's never going to happen by me sitting at home on a computer, angry and stressed out about what everyone else is not doing right. It will never do anything to help you. That's just going to upset you. And if, again, if you like that and you get excited from that feeling, keep doing it. But if really you realize that you want peace and you want ease and you want things to open for you, you want people to just respond to you vibrationally in a more loving way, know that you hold that power and it's in your choices. And I honestly, for those of you that look up to me in any way and you see that I have moved through a lot of things, and maybe you're like, wow, how is she so peaceful and positive all the time? And there's times where I'm pissed, you know it. But for the most part, I stay very peaceful. And when I have lost my alignment and gotten really pissed, the thing that's amazing is that I really quickly learn, like, wow, that wasn't worth it. Like, that was so not worth it. I'm going to just come back to this happy place and I'll still deal with those things, but I don't want to lose my vibrational alignment again because it feels terrible. So you learn it quickly. But for those of you that look to someone like me and you think, how is she doing that? Listen really to what I'm saying. It's simple, but there is self-awareness work all the time. Like, I'm constantly aware of every thought I'm thinking, everything I'm speaking, everything that I'm creating. What is it I want to create? What is it I want to experience? And how do I want to vibrationally affect something? This is all something I hold power of in myself. And there's no more victimization here. There's no more blame. There's no more um, controlling others or even the illusion that you're controlling others. It's all about authenticity, vulnerability, and trust. And each of us, like I said, are going to have moments where fear comes to challenge us. I have it. There will be moments I'm like, ooh, I really want to do that, but I'm kind of freaked out. Like, oh, that's new for me. I'm going, and I'll just move forward. But there's times in the past when I didn't feel empowered and I felt very stressed and I felt very insecure that I would feel like, ooh, I want to learn that. I want to do that. Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I don't know. I don't have enough money. I don't something. There was always something not enough. And I hear a lot of you say that. I hear the ones that stay stuck. You talk about your lack a lot. And so, first step to transformation is pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're speaking, and are you really willing to shift things? Or are you actually really liking your drama? And if you are, at least own it and be honest because owning our stuff is way more empowering than being in denial any moment. So, any other questions coming in, Amnon?
No questions. Oh, wait a second. Ron
Okay.
just said a few things, but
Somebody call in because I want to do an angel reading. So call in, people.
Kathy's saying, I heard an interesting statement.
Okay.
Worry is meditating on shit.
Yes. And you're amazingly powerful and you're drawing that shit right to you. Yes. That's it. That's absolutely true. And so
And
if you're
Ron,
vibrationally worrying, you're just like asking for the shit storm. Bring it.
yeah. And Ron says, wow, I can see that literally. Shit is full of a little bit of every kind of waste. Meditating on
What?
it, I would worry about all kinds of crap.
Yeah. And did he get it?
Yeah, he's saying I can see that.
Wow. Is he seeing it right now? I'm just kidding.
Apparently.
I hope not. Yes, but it's true. Like when you're really this is the thing. It's so simple. Everything is so simple. I could seriously do one show and never talk to you guys again. If you just hear everything is vibrational. Everything is energy and vibrational. So, if you're going to think something, which we are, because we're all thinking, but if you're going to think something, if you can't seem to control your thoughts because they're just racing and they're anxious, go and just connect with your breath and just breathe and release that tension. And if your brain starts going, back to the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. You just keep coming to that place. And eventually you learn, okay, I may not feel empowered in what I'm thinking right now, but at least I can come just to breathing and just focus on my breath and feel gratitude for that breath. That vibrationally is going to be much more powerful for you than laying in bed and dwelling and worrying and stressing about something. Because as we realize we are vibrational beings, we are putting out a signal to the universe when we're worrying and we're like, hey, I'm worrying about this stuff. And then the universe is like, oh, she's wanting some negativity. Let's bring it on in. And it's vibrational. But if at the same time I'm like, okay, I know I'm kind of out of alignment. I've been worrying. I'm breathing. I'm so grateful for all I have. I'm grateful for how everything that is working is going. I'm grateful. Oh, that person was nice to me. I'm grateful for that. We just start to look for gratitude in anything. I'm so grateful it's sunny today. Like, yeah, I woke up not feeling my best, but it's sunny and I'm grateful. And that vibrationally will start to draw in more and more beauty and more high vibrational experiences. And that's really the magic. If we want money and abundance, we talk about it and think about it. If we want poverty and sickness, we talk about it and we think about it.
Yep. Take
So,
that crap and flush it down the commode.
yeah, nice sound effects. Is that like a triple flush? He was like really getting rid of that. Awesome. Yes, and you want to really vibrationally get rid of it. And that's what I'm doing as a healer is I'm assisting with clearing. So imagine big picture you hear that toilet flushing. So it's like we're just tuning in vibrationally to what you've been carrying around in your auric field and in your mind and all your vibrational spaces that's not really affecting you in a positive way, and then you flush it. You have to let it go. And if you don't clear it, especially this unconscious stuff that we're not even aware of a lot of times, if we don't clear that stuff, it still controls you. If unconsciously you're just dwelling and thinking about worry, and you're not catching it, it's still vibration. You're still putting it out there. You could be very positive and smiling to everybody today, but worrying in your mind and just constantly dwelling on worry, and vibrationally, you're bringing it. So we got to really look at the power of our thoughts. That's our first beginning stage of creation. That is the seeds of your creation. So if you want something and you've been told you can't have it, you're born in a certain status in life, who are you to think you can have that? Screw that crap because it's a lie. Because really, you as a soul chose where you went. Every one of us chose where we began our journey. For whatever reason, we wanted the challenge, we wanted to learn, we wanted to walk through the darkness, we wanted to be pampered and spoiled. Whatever it was, we chose it. And so whatever it is you're focusing on now, you're choosing it, and you can get yourself out of any predicament. You got yourself there, you can get yourself out of it. If you are in poverty, you can get yourself out of poverty. And it's not by doing some like plan that people will tell you have to buy all this stuff and go get some real estate, or it's really about your true heartfelt self-love, self-worth, self-esteem alignment again of what makes Tawnya happy. I'm focusing on that. And what do I feel a passion for, and what do I feel a purpose connected with? Like when I connect on this show and I'm helping other souls come back into their alignment and power, I naturally can talk about it because it's my passion. If Amnon's talking on his show about electronics and how to help people understand electronics and get things working better, he doesn't have to even think twice because that's his passion. So it's really figuring out what your passion and your purpose are, and then doing stuff in that direction, putting energy in that direction so that you are in alignment with your highest self. That is going to bring you happiness and fulfillment. Sitting around complaining because you weren't born into a rich family and looking at all the people that were and saying that, it's just not fair, complaining, talking about the problems in the government. I promise you it's never going to help any of you get richer or get happier. But if you like drama and you like suffering, keep doing it because it will be perfect for that. So,
All right.
okay.
So now hold on.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yay, somebody
Hello.
called me. Who is this?
Hi, Tawnya. It's Cindy.
Cindy, my love, I miss you. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Good to hear from you. So, do you have a question or a comment on what we're talking about today?
Not really. I agree with everything you're saying.
Awesome. You just wanted to call and say hi because you missed me.
I made her.
Did you want an angel reading, Cindy?
Of course.
Awesome. So, tell me something that you're feeling about our conversation. Like, what are you feeling about it personally from your perspective?
Well, my situation with an old friend.
Yes.
So that's this is really resonating with that right now for me.
Awesome. So it's helping you to not be attached to what's happening out there, but just stay in that place of alignment and love no matter what's happening externally?
Yes.
Yay. Awesome. So I've got a few decks of cards. I've got my animal cards, my angel cards, or the divine guidance cards. What would you like to have a reading on?
The blue one.
Okay. And do you have a question, or you just want Spirit to bring whatever's of the highest priority to you?
Yes. Whatever's the highest priority to me.
Okay. So Amnon, talk to us for a minute while I shuffle the cards. Wow, you're amazing. You are so good in the now. Bring the pressure, he can handle it.
I was going to say, come on, do the reading. Don't make me a liar.
Oh, come on. You got something to say about our topic today? What do you have to say?
Oh, I mean, I agree with I got to say that it's really agree with everything. It just makes sense.
Yeah. It just does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It is. Cindy, are you still listening to the show on your computer?
Yes, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, go ahead and at the bottom right there is the speaker.
There.
So just click it. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That's
I'm
better.
going to read to Cindy. And thank you, Amnon, for telling me how much I just make sense.
You
I love
always make
that.
sense.
Thank you. Okay, so the first card is the World card, and it's Archangel Michael, which he has just so been around lately helping us. So, welcome, Michael. He's been with me for so long. I love him. He's an
And
amazing angel.
Michael has been with me too.
Yes, he's an amazing angel. And so, he's one of the angels with you right now that's really helping you to pay attention to that feeling of inner safety, self love, and to really honor your boundaries and honor, just that feeling of self worth so that you're not worrying about stuff externally because that vibration of worry will manifest it. And so, he's here to help you see what you're worrying about so that you can bring it to the surface and clear it. So just don't judge yourself if you notice that you're worrying or you notice that you're feeling self-worth stuff or self-esteem issues, but know that he's helping you to see that like a mirror in your face so that you will be able to vibrationally release it at a deeper level and then you won't have to keep experiencing it. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So this card is the World card and says the angels send you this card because can't even read today because you've happily completed something of great importance. They're congratulating you on a job well done. You're now ready to move on to something new. Enjoy your feelings of wholeness and completion and give yourself a pat on the back for your amazing accomplishments. You have grown spiritually and have evolved to a whole new level in your understanding of the universe. You've experienced significant enlightenment and have expanded your consciousness of how to attain joy and contentment. You feel a great sense of gratitude. Additional meanings of this card are perfection, a move to the next level, receiving an award, a new house or job, complete clarity, cosmic awareness, and recognition for the use of your talents, freedom. Archangel Michael oversees your divine life purpose, and he knows what roles your soul has been born to fulfill. Call upon him for guidance as to your next steps and for the courage, strength, and confidence to take them. So, does that feel like a good answer to your question that's going on about this situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I felt, because I've talked with you, I felt that sense of just since we've met, how much you have shifted in your enlightenment, like the way you see the world and the way Cindy sees herself and loves self has been amazing and profound. And so it's just to keep, give yourself credit for that because you had to go through a lot of work to get there. And you are at that place now where you are seeing, so don't get afraid and start going back and regressing. Just keep moving forward and with self-love and keep trusting that your angels brought you this far and have helped you. They're not going to turn their back on you. They love you and they want you to fulfill those soul missions that you came here to fulfill. Like that is what they want. And the more you can trust that, it's going to raise your confidence and that self-esteem, which will help you to not be afraid of anything, to not be afraid of what anyone thinks of you or who stays, who goes, who comes, because you'll know whoever's coming in is exactly who's meant to come in, and whoever's leaving, it's exactly the time for them to leave without any need to attach. What you think?
And that's the hard part for me. Makes a lot of sense because I want to control and attach.
Yes. And that's where in the past it's caused you suffering. And even when people did it to you, remember when people did it to you?
Yeah. Yep.
And it didn't feel good.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna, for making me call in.
Thanks, Amnon, for giving her a little nudge. Well, I
Thank-
hope that helps you, Cindy, and I hope to see you soon. I'll give you a big hug for calling in.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay, mwah,
Mwah.
mwah. I'll see you soon, girl. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. And
Okay.
Kathy.
So that was awesome. Spot on confirmation for her too, because
Yep.
I know a little bit about her situation. So I'm like, that's perfect.
Now-
So anything else coming in?
Yeah, Kathy's saying, I have a tendency to get paralyzed by fear. I attempt to try something I'm afraid of, but self-doubt overcomes me and I either fail or quit before I fail.
Okay. So I can totally tell you that the first step to changing that is in your thinking. Because a lot of times when people will go towards something, notice your chatter in your mind, notice what your brain is telling you about it, and pay attention to what you're saying out loud. Even maybe encourage Amnon to listen in and say, you know, like you guys could have like this safe way that you listen for each other's limitations in your voice. So if you say something like, oh, I really suck at that, I'll never be able to do that, Amnon can hear you and say, hey, baby, are you sure you want to say that to the universe? Because that sounds pretty limiting and it sounds like it's going to keep you stuck right where you've been. So, what if you just said, I am learning how to do this better every day. I am open to seeing this in a new way. I'm open to change. I'm open to understanding this in a new way that I've maybe never understood before. That is going to keep your focal point on that higher alignment and that higher vibration. And then you can go there, and you're going to start to go there by even giving yourself permission in your mind to go there. So I'll give you an example. My daughter she complains about math. She struggled at math. Is she terrible at math? I actually don't think so. But does she have a belief system that tells her she sucks at math? Absolutely. And so the first obstacle to her ever being good at math is that she believes she sucks at it. She says she sucks at it. She thinks about how much she sucks at it, and therefore she manifests sucking at it. And so if she talks about writing, she's like, I'm a great writer. I'm going to be a writer one day. I love writing. I probably could spell check and know how to read things better than adults. She'll say this. So is it because she's the most amazing writer? Nope. She believes she is. She thinks about how good she is at writing. She enjoys it and she talks about how good she is. And then she manifests it and she's good at it. So whatever we're doing in our life, if we're thinking that we suck at it and we're thinking we're going to fail, right there, you just energetically tripped yourself. So if you can catch your thoughts around what you're thinking are limitations and start to shift them consciously to possibilities, you will make them happen. And so it's not so much what you're doing. Your actions are always going to come after your thoughts. So you're going to think, you're going to speak, and then you're going to act. And so when you've been thinking negatively, then you're speaking negatively, you're going to act negatively. If you've been speaking in an open, positive, anything's possible way, then you're thinking it, then you're speaking it. Now you're going to move forward as if it's possible. So really, it's all vibrational again. It's very simple. So if there's something that you're thinking is hard, I hear people say this a lot too, and I'll call them on it. If they're clients that I know are open to me being blunt, I will just be like, are you sure you want to say that? And they're like, what do you mean? This is really hard for me. It's hard. I'm like, well, you're thinking it's hard. Now you're saying it's hard to the universe, and it's going to be hard. You've called it forth. You have said it's got to be hard because you believe it strongly. And the things that we believe and are passionate about the most are the things that we vibrationally draw to us the strongest. So if you passionately believe something and it's negative, I encourage you to drop it. I encourage you to delete it and to shift it to something of a higher vibration, whatever you need to shift to. So let's say it's math. You could say, okay, I'm thinking about math. Oh, I used to think I sucked at it, but I have more awareness today. I am getting better and better at math every day. I am paying attention. I can do this. I know I can do this. I am an intelligent being. I am going to pay attention and I am absorbing everything I need to get from this lesson, and I will become better at math. I am on the path to becoming better at math. Whatever it is, we're using math today. So then you're thinking that. Now when you talk to your friends, you're like, you know what? How are you doing at math? Actually, I am getting better at it every day. I am paying better attention. I'm starting to really understand it. And I really am expecting that I'm going to master this. I am going to figure this out because I am intelligent. I know I can do this. I am capable. And so you'll start to talk about that. Boom, next thing, you're going to get math. You're going to start to figure it out. You're going to line up and you're going to make it happen. And it's not because of how hard you worked or because all of a sudden you became, more intelligent in math. It's really you opened up your own soul's possibility to be good at math. And if you were saying you're not and you thought it strong enough, you won't let yourself do it. People do this all the time. Like, they're raised by parents that say this child's the artist and, you're not the artist, or this one's the musician and she's the bookworm. And parents will label their children, young and we don't realize how much this can affect a soul long term. But then that child grows up thinking, oh, I'm not good at math. My sister's good at math, but I'm really good at soccer. And really, you're only good at anything because you believe you are and you think you are, and then you speak about how you are, and then you do it. So if you want to be a violin player, or you want to play the piano, or you want to write a novel, you want to travel the world and offer healing retreats, you absolutely are capable and you absolutely can do any of it. And it's going to start by you even believing you can, thinking it. Then you're going to start speaking it, write in your journal affirmations about how you're doing it, and then you will take the action. And if you feel scared at that take action place, that's where you've got to really stay aware and take that action, not let it hold you back because you never took the action before. Because the biggest obstacle to growth and evolution is, oh God, I'm afraid. I got that opportunity. I said I want to be a yoga teacher. I was thinking how I'm going to be a yoga teacher. And now some gym called and said, Tawnya, can you come teach yoga? Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. So if I do that, because I'm just giving you examples, I've actually lived through this. And I remember saying to the universe I was ready. And then I got a call the next day to teach. And I was like, oh shit, oh my God. I'm like freaking out. Deep breaths. You got this, girl. You've been practicing. You want this. Of course you're going to say yes, and of course you're going to do awesome because you want this. Your soul is ready. The door is illuminated and open. Take it. Go walk through that damn door. And sometimes we get afraid because it's new. We haven't gone there yet. But that is where you want to walk through, because those doors are going to be the doors you will look back on and be like, I am so glad I did that. That helped me expand my whole soul. My whole world expanded. And had I not walked through that door, I maybe wouldn't be at this door. So each one of those moments where we walk and we look fear in the eyes and we move right through it is amazing and profound to our own spiritual growth, because we learn more and more how we master anything and how we are the creator of our own movie. So does that help you? That helper?
I would hope so.
Okay. So I hope that was good, because really we're creating it all with our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So look at everything. Like there's times where if I catch my kid lying about something, or they're not having integrity, I just really talk to them about vibration. I get back into that place of, what you're thinking about yourself and the kind of person you're going to become. And then what you say, it matters. It is creating the human you're becoming. So each one of us, it's not so important, again, what's happened to us. What are we doing with that? What are we doing with what's happened to us? Do we let it make us an angry, bitter person? Do we make it, cause us to have no integrity and to be sneaky and sly? Or do we have things happen and we're like, you know what? Because I went through that suffering and because I know what it's like, I will not participate in that. And I'm going to become a better human. I'm going to make better choices. So every moment that we're thinking a thought and we're speaking and we're taking an action, we are choosing who we're becoming. And none of us are solid and stagnant. Like who I am today, I am going to keep evolving and shifting every day into new realms, new experiences, and so will each of you listening. So just get over the fear. It's part of the movie, is we're going to change, we're going to grow, we're going to shift, we're going to have new people. Some people will come in, then they're going to go out. It's just like a movie. It's always like a changing scene, but we can have fun with it and just be like, this is how it works. I don't need to be afraid. I can just realize that's how it works. And I go with the flow. I live in trust. I love myself. And I say yes to life. When life offers me an opportunity of growth and expansion, I claim it. And I know I'm worthy. All right, on that note, I'm going to read a couple cards I drew today from the Divine Guidance deck. The first one is number 4, and it is the Astral Realms, which is perfect because this whole topic of the show was given to me from the Astral Realms when I was dreaming, and so I feel Spirit is wanting me to speak this card to help each of you understand how we all can access this higher consciousness, this information, but the first step is believing you can. Just like doing math. I am an amazing conduit and channel for Spirit. I can channel Spirit. I can tune in, ask a question, and receive a message. I have messages that I can give to humanity. I am a powerful teacher and healer. I have potential. I have purpose. just believing that and just opening to that and then setting the intention, you will start to create the experience where you're actually living it. So the astral realms card says you have a strong connection with the astral realms. Usually we visit these realms while sleeping, and that is where we meet with our guides, our teachers, and even other souls who have moved on from the earth plane. For you, however, this connection is allowing you to connect while you are awake, either when meditating or working with your intuition, which honestly, we are evolving to the point where we will be working with intuition 24/7. I'm already doing it and I'm mirroring it to each of you because some of you maybe are like, how do I read a book and just how do I learn to have intuition once in a while? You can do this every day. Like we can have telepathic communication with our animals, our loved ones. We can connect with spirit guides, angels. Every moment we can tune in. It's just knowing you can, claiming you can, and then allowing it, being open to it. And I promise you, you can. um, okay, so let's see. This is truly a gift, as the information you receive here can aid both you and others through life. Spirit is calling you to begin using your gifts in service to others in a way that feels right for you. So, for those of you listening, Spirit is working with each of us. So, tune in and ask, how is it that you're working with me? How is it, angels, that I am here to serve others? How am I here to make a difference? And I promise that you're going to start that with self-love. You each have got to master that part. I had to do it myself, and if I wouldn't have got that part figured out, I would not be able to be as powerful of an assistant for others because I would be an ego. I would be competing and comparing with them. I'd be worried about things with them. I would be insecure about stuff. But when I mastered that and I come to this place of Source and I are one, I am supported by the universe. The angels, the universe loves me. And how may I serve, Spirit? Speak through me, teach through me, heal through me. How may I assist today? And then you watch because you will be given opportunities and souls will be summoned in that need your help, that need your gifts, your insight, your intuition. And you can do this. You can absolutely do this, but you have to believe in yourself. So I encourage you to do that. The second card, and I'll do that real quick, is the Heart Mind card, which self-love, self-worth, all about heart-mind connection. So in my classes, the angels have been helping me to activate, they call it angelic activations, where I'm like uploading just by touching the humans on their third eye. We're sending an uploaded energetic vibration. It's like raising their vibration to upload their consciousness and to connect heart and mind. And this is so important for us because if we're operating in ego and we're not connected to heart space, we will make a lot of egoic choices that will create suffering for ourselves and others. But if we're connecting from heart-mind connection, we are tuning into the heart. If I ask each of you that are watching right now to point to yourself, like point to who you are, show me who you are, where are you? I bet you every one of you went right here. And this is who you are, this heart connection. This is the brain of your soul. So we need to connect to heart and then to our conscious mind and channel in higher conscious information, connect it to the heart. And we get this kind of like flow going. It's like I see like this infinity symbol of flow. And when we're connecting like that, we are listening to our true heart's passion and purpose, and we are moving forward with intelligence in how we're responding, how we're creating a difference and making a difference. If we're not connecting to heart-mind connection and a higher consciousness, then we're coming from ego and it's insecurity, it's fear, it's how do I get what I need and I'll step on whoever to get there. There's no heart in it. There's no compassion. And so this will create suffering, and I probably will do a show soon because I feel Spirit talking to me about that, but doing a show on the power of ambition and passion that can be either channeled in a very beautiful, healthy way, or it can be very destructive. So, tuning into the heart mind will help you balance that so that you're coming from compassion, you're coming from heart. All right, so learning to operate from your heart is one of the single most important things that we can do. It is now time to activate your heart chakra to its fullest potential. So just thank your angels right now for helping you with that. If you're open and ready today, thank you, angels. Help me activate my heart chakra. Help me come from heart-mind balance. Spirit is asking that you take time to sit with the energy of your heart. Learn to breathe through your heart while you meditate by focusing your breath in your heart space. Feel the loving energy as you inhale and allow it to feel you. Let each exhale also be love-filled, and feel this love filling the space around you. Through this daily exercise, you become one with your heart-mind, operating fully from a place of deep love. So that is really where you're going to see the most profound shifts, is as each of you are coming to the space of heart and coming to that place of love, self-love first, respond, how do I assist, how do I serve? Self-love first. You don't go and help at the nurse's station or help with the kids or help do all these things and put yourself last, because you've already done that and it sucks. And you usually end up sick, exhausted, and pissed off, right? So that's our shift this week, is each of you listening is to turn away from that tendency to go help and save everyone else and like fill their need. Get to know self. Stop chasing and trying to get anybody's attention or them to love you enough. Forget about it. Love yourself first. Love self. Get that to where it's strong and it's rooted and it's consistent. And then, how may I serve? How may I connect with life and play and dance today in a very playful way instead of a needy, I'm afraid, insecure human way? So I'll leave you with that. That's your homework for the week. And any of you that are interested that are local, I am having our next Sacred Soul Sister Circle this coming Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. I totally welcome you to come because it's amazing and amazing women. And we do drumming and lots of healing and tuning in the now. So I never really exactly know what's going to happen until it's happening, but it's magic every time. So I encourage you to come out if you're local and to take the time to join us and not be afraid. And for any of you that have been on the fence about having a clearing, or you want to just do a soul coaching session with me to help me tune into what's going on with you, pick up the phone and call me. I'm doing a special for anybody that signs up for 3 sessions. You will get 2 complimentary sessions for signing up for 3 at a time. So that's a little special I'm running right now. And I would love to help all of you, but you have to be ready and you have to really want the change, or you're just going to stay stuck in your drama. So that's your mission, is this week to pay attention to that. Are you doing that? Are you consciously staying stuck? And if so, why? And if you really are ready for magic, if you're really ready for transformation and healing and deep peace and ease, be willing to see yourself clearly. Maybe you need a helper to help you see yourself, and be willing to do the work that you need to heal and shift that, not in a fearful way or in a way that thinks there's something wrong with you, but just in an openness way, an openness to go into places and spaces and experiences beyond anything you've ever experienced before. So I thank you all for taking time and joining us today. Next week, Amnon's going to be playing one of my other shows because we're going to be out of town. So tune in, though. It's going to be one of the past shows, I think, Connecting with Spirit, which maybe you need to just have a refresher on that one, because that's the one I'm intuitively getting. So you guys have a great week, and I love you so much, and you're very loved and supported. Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.